At the departure hall of Los Angeles International Airport, a small area of people were looking at a mixed-race man. He was handsome. He had pure black hair, fair skin but not rough like Europeans and Americans, and his facial features were as perfect as an angel. His body was so tight that it filled his suit to the brim. Just one look at him made many women's legs tighten. Unlike the superficiality of the women, the man selectively ignored the beauty of the man and examined his clothes one by one. The low-key luxury suit was very slim, with a small part of the Armani Eagle logo on the cuffs. The sapphire blue watch was so exquisite that it made the man's heart beat fast. The leather shoes on his feet were even more shiny, and they were Fendi, which is known for its expensiveness. This outfit would cost at least $300,000 in 2008. The men who were trying to find a balance tacitly looked away after confirming the outfit. They knew the man was rich. They could only say sourly, "Why are you showing off in our commoners' area?" The mixed-race man paid no attention to these looks. His deep and charming sapphire eyes scanned the surroundings, and his handsome face showed mixed emotions. 3 points of shock, 3 points of confusion, 3 points of disbelief, and 91 points of laughter. His name is Victor Chong, a Chinese American. His surname is naturally taken from his father Chong, and his name is given by his Russian mother Chong. In recent days, several bad news did not knock him down, but made him determined to resolutely choose to return to China to work. As a PhD in directing from the American Film Institute AFI, he believes that he can inject international elements into the Chinese film industry and make world-class blockbusters that belong to China. Before boarding the plane, he sat in the VIP terminal of Los Angeles Airport, waiting for Chen's mother to arrive. Chen's father was quite dissatisfied with his return to China instead of inheriting his family business, and he probably wouldn't come to see him off. In the haze, a voice seemed to ring in his head, saying that a certain old man had given up the plane trading platform and handed it over to him, and now he would go to the S-level plane Marvel Universe. Nyan. He woke up with a start. The transition from the VIP exclusive terminal to the waiting hall did not convince Victor at all. The second generation of people he was dating were always lawless. Victor smiled helplessly. Just treat it as a special farewell commemoration. He took out his Huawei Mate 20 RS and prepared to call his friend Drucker to stop the farce. This drama was most likely initiated by this guy. The flight was about to board, and if he didn't show up, the flight would not dare to take off. My dad's private plane is more convenient. Victor sighed. Without looking through the contacts, he dialed the number skillfully, put the receiver to his ear, and prepared his emotions for a while. However, the rapid beeping sound of beep, beep, beep interrupted him. He took the phone and looked at it carefully. The center of the screen showed number not activated. This prompt will pop up only when the mobile phone card is not registered or has been cancelled. The first reaction was that Drucker had changed his SIM card. His eyes moved around and stopped at a blonde beauty, who scored 7 points overall this time out of 10. In the other party's surprised eyes, Victor walked forward with an elegant smile and said in a genuine London accent, "Sorry to bother you. My name is Victor Chong. What is the name of this beautiful lady?" "Anna." The blonde beauty's eyes were dull. "Just call me Anna, oh God. You are so beautiful. I must take a photo with you. My sisters will be so jealous." Victor was used to Anna's enthusiasm and cooperated by acting as a background board. He didn't care about Anna's attempt to take advantage of him. American hot girls are so direct. After taking a few photos, he said his purpose, "Excuse me, can I borrow your phone, my phone?" Before he finished speaking, Anna directly reported a string of mobile phone numbers. Obviously, she misunderstood something. Victor pursed his lips restrainedly and repeated again, "Thank you for your recognition. But I really need your phone. You see, my phone is out of service. Victor shook his phone screen, and the number not activated prompt was eye-catching and glaring. Anna paused. Her face became even redder, but the light in her eyes did not diminish. She handed over the phone generously, moved closer to Victor, and whispered teasingly, I haven't tried it at the airport yet, just for fun, and I won't contact you afterwards. What do you think, Victor? Victor's expression did not change. He took Anna's phone with a smile and thanked her softly. Then he turned his back and dialed the number, selectively ignoring what Anna had just said. He had never liked women. He was tired of the airport. So Anna's proposal was not as attractive as her phone. Hello, the number you dialed is not in service. Please confirm before dialing. Hearing this prompt, Victor hung up the phone without hesitation and dialed another number. Because of their identities, they usually set up to block calls from strangers. So if you want to contact Drucker now, calling the number of Kayla, Dad's personal secretary, is the fastest way to solve the problem. The phone prompt tone, Hello, the number you dialed is not available. Please confirm before dialing. Victor raised his eyebrows, confirmed the number was correct, and dialed again, but it still said the number was unavailable. He was a little upset. Kayla couldn't possibly team up with Drucker to make fun of him. She didn't dare to offend him or joke about her job, so every missed call could result in a loss of hundreds of millions of dollars. Eliminating all the impossibilities, the remaining possibilities made his face change slightly. Unconvinced, he dialed several familiar numbers in succession, but all of them were unavailable. Victor's heart sank to the bottom. No way. Did he really travel through time? As an ambitious second-generation rich man and the only heir to a top 100 group in the world, Victor was very satisfied with his life. Time travel. Which human being wants to become an ape and evolve all over again? With the last glimmer of hope, Victor dialed Chen's father's private number, which was only used for family contact and only he and Chen's mother knew it in the world. Beep, he heard the dialing sound, and Victor breathed a sigh of relief, then narrowed his eyes slightly with a ferocious look. Drucker's prank was a success. He really scared himself. He would find a chance to repay Drucker. Just as he was planning how to repay Drucker, the phone rang. Victor took the initiative to say, Dad, it's me. I'm a little sorry that you didn't come. My phone ran out of battery, so I borrowed someone else's phone to say goodbye to you. There was no reply from the other end of the phone, and there was silence for a full 10 seconds. The voice that came out was strange yet familiar. Do scammers recognize their dads when they meet in person now? Why don't I remember having a son? Victor took the phone away and looked at it in confusion. The number was indeed Chen's father's. Although the voice sounded familiar, it was definitely not his father's. Instead, it sounded like, Hey, kid, why aren't you talking? Victor didn't reply, but the person on the other end got anxious. Don't tell me that your mom is one of my ex-girlfriends. This is unbelievable. I have given generous rewards to each of them. How could she secretly give birth to an illegitimate child for me? Listening to the voice on the phone, Victor's mind was a little confused. It really wasn't Chen's father's voice. It was that man's voice. Did Drucker invite him to play a prank on him? That's not right. This number belongs to Chen's father, and there's no way he could fool around with Drucker. Fuck! It looks like you're serious. The person on the other end of the line didn't know what he was thinking, and he said angrily, Wait here, kid. I'll send someone to pick you up and do a DNA test first. Fuck! If this is true, the entertainment newspapers will be happy. The famous playboy, the richest man in the United States, Tony Stark, has an illegitimate child. Hey kid, judging from your accent, you must be 16 years old, right? God! Your mom is really good at hiding. If you tell me now that you are not my son, I will definitely give you 100,000. Tony Stark, promise. The other party paused for a few seconds, still without hearing Victor's response, and simply hung up the phone. Victor, on the other hand, was questioning his life in 3 consecutive questions. Who am I? Victor Chen, a handsome Chinese-European hybrid, a PhD in directing from AFI, a super-rich second generation who would have to go back to inherit a Fortune 100 company if he didn't work hard. Where am I? The United States, Los Angeles Airport, the terminal. What am I doing? He dialed Chen's father's private number, and the person who answered the phone claimed to be Tony Stark. After a brief summary, a terrible idea formed in his mind. After taking a few deep breaths, Victor opened the Google search on his phone. He first looked at the time, March 12, 2008. Looking at the long search interface again, I became more and more panicked. Searching for information about Chen's father, it showed that there was no such person. I searched for the latest news. Mutants attacked New York police. Is it an individual behavior or the will of the organization? In the first month after Stark Industries closed its weapons department, its stock price plummeted 37 foot. Playboy Tony Stark has not appeared in public for 30 days, confirming that he suffers from mental illness. Every piece of news confirmed the absurd conjecture. However, with the technology of the 21st century and the money and power of people like Drucker, these things may be faked on a small scale. Unless, take a few deep breaths to calm down. Victor gave Anna a slightly stiff smile, shook his phone to indicate that he still needed to use it, and after the latter nodded to indicate that he was fine, he found an empty seat nearby and sat down. He lowered his head and tapped his phone, muttering in a low voice, "Plane trading platform." A desperate scene appeared. A line of text really appeared in front of him. "Welcome to the plane trading platform. Do you want to start the beginner guide?" Out of his body and mind's rejection of time travel, his brain subconsciously chose no. The interface disappeared immediately. He blinked hard and confirmed that there were no contact lenses or other items. He sighed deeply and leaned back rudely. "It's over. I really traveled through time. My life has just started, and I have no dissatisfaction with life. The future is full of infinite possibilities. Isn't it better to find a dream-chasing otaku who is more in need of time travel? Fortunately, the plane he is in is the Marvel Universe created by the old man Stan Lee, which he is familiar with. I just don't know whether it is the movie universe, animation universe, or comic universe. If it is the movie universe, as a doctor of directing from AFI, he may know this world better than Stan Lee. He filmed Black Panther, Avengers 3 and Venom as an intern. As for the latter two, it's not that he is unfamiliar with them. It's just that the abnormal power system and his small arms and legs make life full of uncertainty. He might be killed by a map cannon as soon as he leaves the airport. Victor shook his head, and his expression suddenly became strange. Since he really traveled through time, then the person who answered the phone just now must be the real Tony Stark. He actually called him Dad. Oh, that's not right. It was Tony who said that he would send someone to pick him up and do a DNA test. Based on his analysis of Tony's personality, Victor was 100% sure that once Tony confirmed that he was not his son, he would definitely keep his promise and give him 100,000. Then hire a top lawyer to sue Victor for fraud. He won't be released without 10 years in prison. 10 years is the minimum. The most urgent thing is to solve this problem first. I checked my current possessions. An expensive suit, a Patek Philippe watch, a Huawei phone that can't dial, a wallet with all the cards useless, and a borrowed phone. After a moment of silence, Victor summoned the plane trading platform again, then used his mind to click to confirm and enter the beginner guide. Apparently, This thing could read brain waves, so it might just stay in his head. The words in his eyes changed. Basic principles of plane merchants. Because there is only one plane merchant in each plane, you are not allowed to harm the interests or lives of any other plane merchant, including yourself, in any form. Violators will be punished with the highest penalty of exile in the void. Agree newcomer draws once refuse unbind the platform. If I refuse, will I be sent back after unbinding the platform? Victor thought about the possibility, but in the end he didn't take the low chance. Chen's father's talent as a businessman made him instinctively reject this unequal gamble. After clicking agree, I saw plane trading platform confirmed binding newbie guide completed. Do you want to draw the newbie reward? Victor. After waiting for another 10 seconds, after confirming that the interface in front of him would not change again, even with Victor's good self-restraint, he almost wanted to fuck the raccoon girl. Is the new user guide so simple? No introduction to the origin. No instructions for use. Even if all these are omitted, at least give yourself an auxiliary elf. Now there is nothing. Just give yourself a newbie reward. The customer experience is extremely poor, you know. He rubbed his temples with a headache. The news of the time travel was too explosive, and his mentality was a little explosive, causing intense emotional fluctuations, and his rare complaining nature was exposed. This so-called plane trading platform doesn't play by the rules. In this case, he decided not to follow the platform's rules and refused to draw the newbie reward. The interface in front of him changed. The most conspicuous thing was the huge search box at the top, and then under the search box, there were 5 options: shopping cart, products, inventory, tasks, and contacts. The painting style is extremely simple. No wonder he was sent across time without asking for advice. With this kind of art skills, everything he said is equal to fraud. It can be sent across dimensions, but you are reluctant to pay for the interface design. Without clicking the search box immediately, click on the 5 options below one by one. Except for an item marked as newbie lottery in inventory, all other small squares are empty. It was like the small squares in the backpack and warehouse in the online game, so simple that he didn't even want to complain. Return to the initial interface and click on the search box. Please inform the platform of any needs. I want to go back to Earth now. Can you satisfy me? What? Can't complain. Must stay elegant. Victor, fuck the raccoon lady's legs. Are the second generation rich not ordinary people? Can handsome guys not poop? This second generation is in a state of mind right now. I feel cheated by a certain mall and was forced to open a Taobao store and then exiled abroad. I can't help but complain. Following Victor's complaints, the options below the search box were cleared, and a large area of neatly arranged exquisite windows popped up instead. The gorgeous painting style is like the difference between Lu Yifei and Feng Jie compared to before. The difference between the merchant backhand and the user interface is too obvious. Walking through the whole row, the dazzling array of goods is high-end at first glance, from magic portals to fantasy void-breaking skills, and finally scientific shuttles. It's just that the price. Let's not talk about what the SS level certificate is. Let's talk about this plain point. There is no window with less than 24 digits. That is 100 million billion, 100 trillion. Here we are not talking about traffic. It is the plain point. Unless this plain point depreciates like the Zimbabwean dollar, otherwise this platform just doesn't want to let me go home. I changed a few search conditions and clicked on a few products. The general interface is similar to Taobao products, nothing more than those things. The slogan is quite cool. Product name, Dragon Ball Earth, product category, technology product compatibility, 100 plane of origin, Dragon Ball Universe level rating, SS product price, S level certificate free, Plain points 300 million function description. Gather all 7 Dragon Balls to summon a dragon and get a chance to make a wish. Slogan: if you don't know Japanese, you can't make a wish due to your lack of literacy, and you can't return the product. Product name: Dragon Ball Namek. Product category: Technology Product Fit. 100 Origin. Dragon Ball Universe Level Rating, SS. Product Price, S Level Voucher Free. Plain points 250 million function description. Gather 7 Dragon Balls to summon the dragon and get free wishes. Slogan: it is very important to know a foreign language, such as Namekian, so you can make free wishes. Dragon Ball Earth is not difficult to learn, but Dragon Ball Namek is really blind, and there is no place to learn. They didn't even know to give away a language gift pack, no marketing awareness at all. The most ridiculous thing is that Dragon Ball is actually classified as technology. Okay. Maybe magic is also a kind of technology that humans have not yet touched. Next, Victor performed a series of operations, roughly exploring the functions of the platform, basically copying the Taobao template. The big boss behind this should be surnamed Mao, right? Judging from the style of discriminatory treatment, it might be the disciple surpasses the master. Looking at the watch, it was only 5 minutes. No wonder the novice guide is so simple. This hardcore interface doesn't even have an advertisement. Anyone who can't understand it is a fool. After a lot of complaints, Victor's face became serious. In 10 minutes at most, Tony's people should arrive. Before that, he had to solve this problem as soon as possible. It was impossible to call back and explain. Tony was not a person who would listen to advice. As a newcomer to the Marvel Universe, the only thing he could rely on was the plain trading platform, even though there was no balance in his account and he couldn't buy anything. But, under the influence of his father, Victor has long understood that many things can be obtained without pain. Being in the Marvel Universe is his greatest asset. In the evaluation of the platform, the Marvel Universe is an S-level plane, although I don't know how the rating is divided, but S-level is at least an upper middle level, right? This means that he has a high achievement goal and has the potential to be invested in, especially those low-level planes that are short of resources and are definitely willing to invest in him. Combined with his current situation, Victor quickly confirmed his needs. Real identity solves basic problems. Self-protection ability ensures personal safety. Starting resources accelerate capital accumulation. After understanding the direction, his brain started to work at high speed, thinking about how to choose the corresponding products to maximize the benefits. 10 seconds later, he opened the Google search on his phone again, typed in Osborne Industries, and a row of news popped up. Osborne Industries pioneered biomass power generation technology. Can it become a new direction for clean energy? The legendary life of Norman Osborn, the true identity of Harry Osborn, the future heir of Osborne. Ignore this news. Find the official website of Osborne Industries. Click on the employee profile page, enter Richard Parker and click search. There is not much information about Richard Parker, but his photo is gray. This indicates that he is dead. However, there is no time of death marked on it. Exit Osborne's official website and search for Richard Parker. Richard Parker's death, a huge loss to the biological community. Mary Parker, the most beautiful female biological expert, has left us forever. Chief researcher died in a plane crash. Osborne Industries stock price fell slightly. After a careful review, Victor confirmed the time point the Parkers died in a plane crash 6 months ago. This time point is really wonderful. While thinking, he continued to search for news about Tony. Most of them were reports about the kidnapping in Iraq. Browsing through the past one by one, Victor located the current time point 1 month after Tony escaped from the 10 Rings game. In other words, Tony has completed his transformation in the Little Black Cave and is now in seclusion to build the MK2. Then, Victor called up the platform, clicked the search box, searched for artificial intelligence, did not click on the product, and arranged the products from low to high according to the production plan. He searched for keywords such as genetic disease treatment, superpowers, close combat, and first choice for novice businessmen in the same way. He closed his eyes. In his mind, he sorted them out again. After making sure that there was nothing missing, Victor opened his eyes. He stood up, returned the phone to Anna, thanked her, and politely declined the other party's invitation again. In the latter's lost eyes, he strolled out of the terminal hall. Leaving here is the simplest and most effective option, but it is definitely not a long-term solution. The security check when entering is very strict, but the procedure for leaving is simple, and usually you will be allowed to pass without even checking your ticket. But because of Victor's charm, the lady in charge of security check confirmed with him verbally again and again before reluctantly letting him go. So handsome, I really want to fuck him. Shortly after Victor left, Tony's personal bodyguard Happy walked towards the security entrance with a stern face. He finally got a vacation, but his boss actually used his vacation time to pick someone up because his home was close to the Los Angeles airport. What's more tragic is that Happy's trip was destined to be in vain. His target, Victor, was now in a public toilet room at the airport. Although the Los Angeles airport is the 5th largest airport in the world, the smell of the toilet is also unpleasant. The reason for choosing this place is simple. This is the only place in the airport that is not monitored. Tony is not the future Iron Man yet, and it will take at least half an hour to mobilize resources to find this place. After temporarily solving Tony's problem, Victor logged onto a plane store Resident Evil. I passed by many products and went straight to the customer service to start a cross-dimensional chat with the other party. The other party replied with a message almost immediately. Royce. Hello, I am Royce, a plane merchant from the Level Plane Resident Evil. How can I help you? It was an automatic reply at first glance. And it was a pure text chat, without even an avatar. Bad review. Victor typed the beginning that he had prepared in advance. A Marvel Universe dimensional merchant, fight. Wrong. He quickly stopped and deleted this line of random text. This is the bad thing about mind editing. Other people speak directly without thinking. Here, the electronic signal is directly converted into text without thinking. While re-editing the opening remarks, the other party replied first. Royce, Marvel Universe. Someone finally entered that dimension. Royce, brother, you are such a lucky guy. Do you want to buy T-virus knowledge or G-virus knowledge? Royce, how? No. Brother, how come you are only a level 0 merchant? Isn't the minimum a trainee merchant? Oh shit. You haven't even reached level 4 yet. How do you have the authority to open the customer service interface? After 3 sentences, the other party stopped bombarding and waited for a reply. Victor also finished editing the message, checked it again to make sure it was okay, and then confirmed it was sent. Victor, I am an S-level Marvel Universe dimensional merchant. As you can see, I am a novice merchant. I encountered some problems when I first came to Marvel and need your help. Believe me, this will be a lucrative investment. After a 3-second pause, another round of information bombardment came over. Royce, oh my god, brother. You are so lucky that you were selected to the S-level Marvel Universe. Royce, there are a lot of good things in that place. You can get a lot of certificates just by doing some research. Royce, I'm so envious. Brother, you are in trouble now, right? If you need anything, just tell me. I will do my best to get it for you. Royce, that's the investment, right? I know. It's the same as farming. You sow first and then harvest. Royce, tell me, brother, What do you want? T-virus? G-virus? Or tyrant as a bodyguard? This northeastern atmosphere blowing towards him. Victor was silent for a few seconds, but finally felt the need to confirm. Victor, hello. I would like to ask if it is my translator that has a problem, or are you from Northeast China? The other party responded with the same bombardment as always. Royce, of course it must be. I am from Heilongjiang in Northeast China, a genuine Northeast man. Royce, brother, are you confused about my name? There is no other way. I can't use Liu Da Wang in the United States, right? That's not classy. Royce, oh, brother, don't you know? Our plain merchants are all selected from the earth. I don't know the details. I am just a level plain merchant. You have to figure out the rest yourself. Royce, by the way, aren't you in trouble? Brother, just tell me what you need. Royce, but seeing that you are only level 0, I am afraid that you are not rich enough and can only give it as a gift. Royce, let's be frank. You can only choose one thing. I'm not being stingy. I have a lot of these things here, but the platform doesn't allow it. They say they have to respect some basic trading law. There is only one free gift per month. After carefully thinking about Royce's words, Victor analyzed a lot of information from them. This northeastern man named Royce has a straightforward personality, just like the northeastern people. Although he may not be completely trustworthy in what he says, he really wants to invest in me. After all, there is no real fool who can be selected as a plain merchant if the platform selects people randomly. That is another matter, but with me, this pearl in front of me, the possibility is not high. If his temperament is not fake, then this guy should be the one who is wise but foolish. Under the premise of only being able to obtain one investment product, how to maximize the benefits is the problem. This is not a problem for him, as the original demand is just one product. The more investment he requires in the early stage, the greater the benefits he will get in the later stage. Victor, I want artificial intelligence, Red Queen, not White Queen. The opponent started to make dazzling moves again. Royce, eh? Isn't it the whole G-virus? You can get at least one superpower. Royce, that's right, brother. You have a lot of choices. This thing will cause that, oh, reproductive cuckolding. If you can avoid it, don't. Royce, okay. Are you sure you want artificial intelligence? Then I'll clear the one I'm using and copy it for you. Royce, sorry, the platform won't give you some unique technologies in the Resident Evil dimension if you don't buy knowledge. Royce, oh, by the way, I almost forgot, brother. You haven't claimed the newbie reward yet, right? Otherwise, you should at least be an apprentice merchant. Why don't you claim it first? It's said that this thing has a coefficient based on your own strength and the danger level of the world. The larger the coefficient, the better the reward you get. Royce, let's add a contact first. When you finish drawing, let me know. Royce, eh? Why can't I add you? It says you haven't obtained level 4 authority yet. Try adding me. Just look at my name and think of adding me as a friend. Victor is not sure whether he is wise or foolish, but he is definitely a talkative person. Royce's last reminder made Victor have some guesses. Perhaps the reason why he could obtain the privileges of a level 4 merchant was because he had not received the newbie reward first. Otherwise, where would there be so many bugs? It's rare to step on dog shit when you go out. Maybe. Is this a reward for his clever behavior? With a slightly apprehensive mood, Victor stared at Royce's avatar to indicate that he wanted to add him as a friend, but no prompt popped up. Royce, hey, I received your friend request. You can find me at contacts. Royce, that's weird. How come you can't just add me? Royce, brother, don't exit this conversation. Just open contacts and see if I'm there. Victor followed his instructions, and another window popped up in the corner of his eye, with the name Royce lying alone in it. It seemed that there was no problem. But Victor was still worried, thinking that if this hidden reward had restrictions. Not if, but definitely. As long as he received the newbie reward, his current permissions would definitely be closed. The only doubt was whether the contact would be deleted. After weighing the pros and cons, Victor made up his mind. Victor, brother, why don't you give me artificial intelligence, Red Queen now? I'm afraid that after I receive the newbie reward, the platform will automatically detect a bug and delete the contact. Royce, hey, brother, you are a man who does big things, and you make choices very quickly. I'm still thinking about whether I should persuade you. Royce, okay, 10 seconds, it will be done soon. In less than 5 seconds, a line of text jumped into his eyes. You have received a gift from the Resident Evil Dimension. Royce. Hey, little brother, did you receive it? If you did, you can find it in inventory. Victor gave the order with his mind, and a third window popped up in the perspective interface. In the small square was a white object that looked like an earpod, which did not look like artificial intelligence at all. As I was wondering, a piece of product information came to my mind. Product name, nanometer storage earphones. Product category, technology. Product fit, 100 claim of origin, Resident Evil level rating, F. Product price, level certificate 8, plain .85 function description. The earphones are composed of a nanometer-sized storage unit. While having a large amount of information storage, they also have many small functions such as networking, decoding, solar charging, etc. Slogan: this small headset can hold 10 weak artificial intelligences and can temporarily replace supercomputers. Victor raised his eyebrows. This Royce is really careful. Storing the artificial intelligence on this nano storage headset saved him a lot of trouble. Otherwise, he would have to get a server group to run the artificial intelligence. I hurriedly thanked Royce. The other party also took advantage of the situation and changed their names. Royce, that must be done in one step. Brother, can I do half of the work? Royce, after you take out the Nazi storage headphones, it will automatically connect to the internet and start running. Don't worry, I haven't deleted most of the information about the plane trading platform. It knows our power and dare not cause trouble. Royce, I can't help you with anything else now. I see you know how to attract investment. You must be smarter than me. I won't waste my time. Royce, I have something else to do at the research institute. Let me know when you solve the problem. As usual, the bombardment of words makes people feel comfortable, and the distance is very delicate. Royce is definitely a classic example of a man who is both rough and meticulous. Without saying much, I closed the chat window first, then opened contacts, clicked on Royce, typed "old brother is righteous" and sent it. It was sent successfully. The problem was with the newbie rewards. I moved my eyes to the Nazi storage earphones in inventory and was thinking about how to take them out when the earphones in the small square disappeared immediately and my right ear hole felt a little blocked. Subconsciously, I touched my right ear and took it off. I opened my palm and saw that it was the Nazi storage earphones in the small square screen just now. It looked no different from an earplug. Hey, it's quite humane. It didn't appear on the hand but on the ear. I put it back into my right ear and tried to call out, "Red Queen." "Sir, artificial intelligence, Alice is at your service. Do you need to change Alice to Red Queen?" A mature voice came from the earphone. As soon as Victor heard it, he recognized that it was Alice's voice, not the little Lolita Red Queen's. Roy said that he copied the version he used, so he thought that the other party used Alice as a template. Maybe he even conquered Alice. It's just right. I don't like talking to Lolita all day. I always feel that I will be reported and sentenced to at least 3 years. No need to modify, Alice is fine. Victor replied, Are you connected to the internet now? What can you do? The unlimited network connection has been completed. Alice can do 99 of things related to the internet. As for the impact on reality, Alice can only control the Nazi storage headphones before Sir's authorization, Alice replied. Control headphones. Victor heard something else. What other functions does this headset have? Of course. Alice's tone was full of human pride. As a cutting-edge scientific research product, the nanoparticle storage headphones are a unique prototype of the previous owner. They can be decomposed into nanoparticles and then attached to the eardrum to reassemble. This is a backup machine with the same functional safety. It is a supercomputer in itself, powered by solar energy, and is enough to run Alice at 100 for an hour. With Alice, the previous owner can control the entire network world through voice. However, in this world, Alice cannot control the entire network. Although it is still in its infancy, Alice has found 5 weak AIs whose capabilities are only slightly inferior to Alice. Sir, do you need to eliminate or rewrite their permissions? This will take some time. Victor briefly sorted out Alice's words. In short, the overall development of the Marvel Universe's network is low, but there are 5 weak AIs that are slightly inferior to Alice. As for the gap in the middle, if there is no gap, can it still be called black technology? Can it still be called Marvel? After roughly understanding Alice's ability, Victor began to give orders. On the premise that you don't leave any traces on the internet, first create traces of life in the real world for me. Chinese-American, orphan, named Victor Chen, 24 years old, born on May 28, Chinese and Russian. You can create the rest of the information yourself. Just an ordinary person will do. Make the nano storage earphones invisible. It is too conspicuous now. Then investigate. Tony Stark sent someone to the airport to find me, to see who it is. By the way, regarding the location of the other 5 artificial intelligences, you should not contact them for the time being. With Victor's order, the one who could directly feel the change was the earplug in his right ear. Although he couldn't see it, he could clearly feel it flowing like water. One stream merged into his right ear, and the other stream flowed down the back of his neck to his left ear and merged into it. He felt a little itchy, but there was no discomfort. Victor raised his hand and touched his ear, but it was empty, as if there was nothing there. He shook his head and didn't feel any foreign objects in his ear. The earphones seemed to be lost. Alice's voice rang in both ears. Sir, the identity has been registered. Tony Stark sent his bodyguard Happy Hogan, who just passed the security check 2.5 minutes ago and is now talking to Anna Belgium in the terminal. It only took 10 seconds. Alice's efficiency was terrifying. Victor twisted his neck uncomfortably. Alice, from now on, make sounds in your right ear instead of both ears. As you wish, sir. You don't have to be so respectful. You are not my servant. Just call me Chen. Sir reminds me of someone who just took advantage of me. Okay, Chen. Lower the volume. Is this volume okay? Lower it. How about this volume? Okay, keep the volume fixed at this level, and... It took Victor 3 minutes to adjust Alice's behavior to suit himself. He straightened his collar and said, Then, can you block the airport's surveillance system and let me leave the airport invisible? Alice, it's very simple. Your order has been executed. Victor, pay attention to Happy's position. Don't let me meet him. Alice, Of course, Chen. Victor nodded with satisfaction, pushed open the single room and left quickly. The smell of the bathroom is really bad. The overall layout of Los Angeles Airport in this world is not much different from that of the previous life, and I walked out of the airport smoothly. Standing at the entrance of the airport where people were coming and going, Victor looked at the Los Angeles Airport in front of him, and after a few seconds, he turned around and sighed. He rejected his friend's requests and his parents' advice, and resolutely decided to return to China for development. Unexpectedly, he was bound and forced to penetrate by a high-imitation platform. Just as he was reminiscing about the past, Alice suddenly raised the volume and warned, "Be careful. Please dodge to the left immediately." Before he could react, he felt a heavy object hit him from behind, and then he was pushed to the ground. Then, with a familiar scream, an unknown heavy object fell on him and buried him. The fatal blow came from the heavy blow to the cervical vertebra. Before he fainted, Victor had only one thought. I complained about the airport being destroyed by the map cannon before. Just to say that I am weak now. I really didn't mean to plant a flag. When he regained consciousness, he only felt sore all over, probably from bruises. The surroundings were white ceilings, white sheets, and a hint of yellow at the corners of his eyes. He stood up and found that it was a person lying next to his bed. Judging from her clothes, she was not a nurse. She was sleeping soundly, with a waterfall of brown and yellow hair covering her cheeks. But based on his experience, he could tell from the smell of her hair, her body shape, and her clothes that she was a hot girl. After being in a daze for a few seconds, Victor grabbed the sick man on his body and recalled his previous experience. Is it just a dream? It was easy to verify, Alice. Are you still there? Chen, I'm here. Alice's response came from his right ear. 6 hours ago, you collided with Ms. Wanda's luggage cart, and the back of your neck was hit violently, causing you to fall into a coma, with a slight concussion. You are now in the Los Angeles Airport Hospital. Victor nodded with some regret, thinking it was just a nightmare. He still refused to accept the fact that he had traveled through time. Wait. Victor raised his eyebrows, looked at the person lying on the bed, and whispered, You said her name is Wanda. Wanda Maximoff. Eastern European Sokovian. Alice confirmed. That's what the information shows. This Ms. Wanda and her brother Pietro lost their parents when they were 13 years old. They just turned 18 last month and entered the country in the name of tourism. 18 years old. This age is not right. Whether it is comics, animation, or the movie world, Wanda is only about 13 years old now. Did he recognize the wrong person? Just as he was wondering, a man with silver hair pushed open the door of the ward and met Victor's eyes. There was no mistake. This person was definitely Pietro Maximoff, the future Quicksilver. As for the age issue, all we can say is that this is a real world, and it cannot be 100 matched with the movies, TV shows, and comics we know. You're awake, Pietro said apologetically. I'm sorry, my sister was a little reckless. I apologize to you on her behalf. As he spoke, Pietro walked to Wanda, held her shoulders and shook her. Wanda did not get up, but said in a coquettish tone, Don't make trouble. Let me sleep a little longer. I can't sleep well in the economy class. Pietro smiled awkwardly at Victor and poked Wanda's waist lightly. Wanda, who was reluctant to get up just now, suddenly jumped up, and her half-smiling, half-angry brown-ring eyes looked into Victor's eyes, who was sitting on the bed. At that moment, Wanda realized her situation. Victor restrained his gaze from moving downward. After confirming her gaze, he knew she was a fierce woman. It was early summer now, and Wanda, who was wearing cool clothes, had a beautiful chest. Especially when she made big movements, The elastic movement was very eye-catching. Wanda didn't realize the charm she had unintentionally released. She stood up hurriedly and apologized to Victor. "I'm very sorry for the trouble I've caused you." Faced with Wanda's sincere apology, Victor silently turned his head away. "Girl, just apologize, bow or something. Don't you know your own weight? Even if it's a gift, begging for forgiveness. Your brother is standing right next to me, so I can't see it or not. I still don't quite understand the whole story. Can you explain it?" Victor said calmly. Pietro took over and explained, basically the same as Alice said, without hiding anything. Through Victor's head tilt, Wanda also realized that she was exposed. Her face flushed instantly, and she turned sideways to quietly adjust her clothes. "I see." Victor nodded at Wanda. "I don't feel that there is anything wrong with my body. There is no good medicine for a mild concussion. I will go back and recuperate by myself." Seeing that Wanda looked apologetic, Victor added, "I was standing at the airport gate in a daze. I have to take half the responsibility for this matter. You didn't just ignore it. How about we call it even?" Wanda was undecided and cast a questioning look at Pietro. As the older brother, Pietro seemed more mature and understood that he had met a good person. He nodded to his sister and then smiled gratefully at Victor. From Victor's clothes, it was not difficult to see that the other party had a good background. The two siblings were new here, and if Victor insisted on making some harsh demands on them, then they would really be finished. Not to mention completing it. With her brother's permission, Wanda smiled sweetly and bowed to Victor to thank him. The murder weapon that had been seen for a moment appeared before his eyes again. Victor did not show much surprise and turned his head away silently. Wanda, who had straightened up, saw this and blushed again. This child has a bad memory. It turns out that the chest and brain are generally inversely proportional. Pietro, on the other hand, looked calm, and was very pleased with Victor's two moves to look away. He reached into his trouser pocket and pulled out a Huawei Mate 20 RS and handed it to him. "This is your phone. Sorry, you were unconscious before, and I wanted to notify your family, but no one answered the call," Pietro explained. Victor nodded, a little surprised. He didn't have the habit of saving contacts. Generally, good friends would just remember their phone numbers. And in the call records, most of them had been called before, and the results were obvious. None of them got through, right? Victor asked. "Ah, yes, not a single one got through. I thought it was your phone, but it turned out that it worked when I called my phone," Pietro replied. Victor nodded without further explanation. Pietro naturally did not ask any more questions, so he turned around and went out to call the doctor for a re-examination. Wanda and Victor were left in the ward, relatively speechless. Wanda had exposed herself twice before, and she blushed and was too embarrassed to speak up. Victor was listening to Alice's report. After he fell unconscious, Alice found that Pietro had taken his phone. In order not to appear too abnormal, Alice took the initiative to register his phone number with his real name. As for the phone's communication records, there were a few numbers that could be called, such as his father's number and now Tony's number. But the signals were all modified by Alice. Although they could be dialed through, no one would ever receive the call in reality. Naturally, it is impossible to connect. Yes, this artificial intelligence is very intelligent. After Alice finished her report, Pietro also returned to the ward with the male doctor. After the male doctor gave Victor a simple examination, he said that he was fine now and only needed to rest for a while. If he was worried, he could do another instrument examination. When talking about the instrument examination, Victor noticed that Pietro's face was tense and his lips were tightly pursed without speaking. Combined with what Wanda said just now, economy class passengers can't sleep well. These two siblings probably don't have much money on them in the United States. If you go to the doctor without an appointment for an illness that is not covered by Social Security, it is terrifyingly expensive. However, he traveled internationally with little money, and the destination was Los Angeles, where Tony was. The purpose behind this was somewhat intriguing. Thinking of some possibilities, Victor rejected the suggestion of examination and went directly to the hospital for discharge. Hearing this, Pietro secretly breathed a sigh of relief, but Victor, who had been paying attention to him, did not miss it. It can be basically confirmed. The purpose of these two siblings coming to Los Angeles should be a certain poisonous mouse. At the gate of Los Angeles Airport Hospital. "Thank you very much." Pietro expressed his gratitude again and again. He knew that his siblings were lucky, otherwise this matter would not end so easily. Victor had a smile like spring breeze, and his eyes were meaningful when he looked at Wanda. That look made Wanda feel that the handsome man in front of her seemed to have known her for a long time, more than knowing each other. Victor even pursued her before he traveled through time, but their relationship eventually stopped at being just friends because she didn't like a little brother who was 5 years younger than her. Now, he is 24 years old, she is 18 years old, and he is 5 years older than her. Interesting. Without dwelling on this, Victor thought for a moment, took off the Patek Philippe watch on his hand and handed it to Wanda. This watch was given to him by Elizabeth in his previous life, so now it should be returned to its original owner. Wanda did not take the expensive watch, and looked at Victor with wide eyes, puzzled. Victor still smiled warmly. "Just think of it as hospital fees. Haven't you noticed? Your brother is worried about the next expenses." Wanda looked back at Pietro in surprise, as if asking, "Are we really poor?" Pietro's expression changed for a moment, but he nodded awkwardly in the end. They really had no money, and hospital fees in the United States were really expensive. "If I don't find a way to get some money, I'm afraid I won't even be able to afford the return ticket, let alone complete the purpose of this trip." Wanda still didn't take the watch immediately, and she looked very hesitant. Victor immediately gave her a way out. "How about this? You give me 100. I'm penniless now and need some money to pay for the taxi fare." While Wanda was still hesitating, Pietro had already taken out 5 20 bills and exchanged them for Victor's watch. The diamonds on the watch were worth more than that. Knowing her brother well, he was so anxious that Wanda realized that the two siblings were probably on the verge of bankruptcy. They had only been in the hospital for a few hours. Victor didn't pay much attention to this, and quickly stuffed the US dollars into his bulging wallet, the 2018 new version of RMB inside, which he couldn't spend. But Wanda saw it differently. With so many banknotes, credit cards, and bank cards, plus Victor's outfit, he didn't look like someone who was short of 100. Obviously, she was trying to help her brother and sister. Victor put his wallet back into his suit pocket, and felt a fragrant breeze blowing towards him, and then 2 soft balls of hair covered his hands and arms. "You are a good person, Victor," Wanda whispered in his ear. Before he could feel the touch carefully, Wanda ran away like a frightened little rabbit. Pietro raised his eyebrows at Victor, then waved goodbye and quickly caught up with Wanda. Victor was left alone in a mess. "No, girl. I don't mind if you want to hug me. But isn't it too much to give me a nice guy card?" However, he took his right hand out of his suit pocket, moved his palm, and savored the softness just now. TSK, with his experience of seeing countless women, Wanda is definitely still a virgin. It's a pity that it was the back of the hand that touched, if it was the palm. Shaking his head to get rid of the dirty thoughts, Victor looked at the direction where Wanda and her brother left and smiled softly. If we are destined to meet again, we will meet again. Alice. I'm here. What can I do for you? Can you reactivate my credit card? I brought it from my original world. No problem. The data has been written into the magnetic stripe. Please put the corresponding credit card to your ear. Alice needs to read the data. Victor took out his wallet as he was told, turned over all the cards, pulled out the American Express Centurion Black card, and put it to his ear. The credit card has been activated, with no upper limit. In fact, Alice can directly increase your bank balance. It's just a small amount of money. Keep a low profile. Collect information on mutants, secretly invade the Sentinel Special Service, and find the mutant on the ground shelter closest to me. This will take some time. The Sentinel Special Service is in a weak artificial intelligence protection area. It is a bit troublesome to bypass it. The estimated time is 3 hours. If there is no need to hide the traces, Alice can rewrite the permissions in just 3 minutes. Well, hiding the traces is the first priority. We are not suitable to be exposed now. Alice got it. Book me the nearest 5-star hotel and ask them to send a car over. The order for the presidential suite at the Hilton Hotel has been placed. I have requested airport pickup service, which is expected to arrive here in 15 minutes. The Hilton Hotel's special car arrived very quickly. With the Centurion Black Gold card in hand, Victor was naturally treated according to the hotel's highest rules. The presidential suite that was originally fully booked was also vacated for a free upgrade. A big hotel is never truly fully booked, and there will always be a few rooms reserved for the distinguished guests who may come. After pressing the Do Not Disturb button, Victor sank into the sofa, staring blankly at the sunset outside the French window. For a long time, Victor sighed deeply and summoned the plane transaction. He still did not choose to draw the newbie reward. Alice solved his real identity and starting resources, but he had not yet found the ability to protect himself. Let alone the Marvel Universe, just the fact that this is the United States is enough to alert him. Many people in China yearn for the freedom of the United States. Little do they know that unless you are surrounded by bodyguards when you go out, ordinary civilians have to wear bulletproof vests when they go out. Who doesn't have a few guns at home? It's not like in China, where an unsharpened iron tool may be classified as a controlled knife and confiscated, and a sharpened one is a crazy test of the edge of the law. Therefore, self-protection is very important. The commodities on the plane trading platform are endless and vast, and ordinary people have long been dazzled. But Victor has a goal. He directly opens the store of the DC Universe plane before he crossed over. DC's Aquaman was very popular, but Aquaman is popular, and it has nothing to do with Victor. He didn't plan to redeem the power of Aquaman in Justice League. He was still beaten to death by Superman with one hand. That's right. Victor is a crazy Superman admirer, and he is a close friend of Henry Cavill in his previous life. When he was familiar with the platform, the first thing he searched was Superman's power. Product name, Superman Bloodline. Product category, Bloodline product fit, 100 origin, DC Universe level rating, SS product price, S level certificate 4, plain point 400 million function description, obtain super cell, open super brain, awaken super strength, super speed. Slogan, where there is the sun, you are God. The 10 billion in the previous Dragon Ball was changed to 100 million. I forgot to change it when I revised the outline before and just pasted and copied it. The introduction of Superman Bloodline is simple, but the message of I am awesome is revealed between the lines. The price is equally awesome. Victor naturally didn't think that he would let others invest in a complete set of Superman Bloodline for him with just his mouth. Even if they were willing, he would not accept it. This is just like equity. The larger the financing ratio, the less autonomy. The reason why the Superman bloodline was approved was because the merchant in this plane supported installment purchase. It was installment purchase, not installment payment.